they did have an amazing they did go the distance at the media event. They had a singer who I don't know if he's going to
He's
be
playing Hercules.
I thought so. I thought he was going to be
who's
Hercules.
Playing Hercules in the stage show for
and gosh, I watched that video that Scott Gustin took, and it was just incredible. He was just, fantastic.
Welcome back, everybody, to a special bonus episode of the DCL Duo podcast, brought to you by My Path Unwinding Travel and our good friends over at the WDW magazine, who are putting out the DCL magazine. And we love the DCL magazine. You can find out more about it by heading over to dcl-magazine.com to get yours today. It's arriving in mailboxes now and has a great article in it from yours truly about parasailing at Castaway Cay. We've been carting the magazine all over the treasure this week to take photos to help promote it for the good folks over at DCL Magazine, and just really enjoy the magazine. High quality photos, great articles from some great folks. So head over to dcl-magazine.com now to subscribe and get your issue delivered to your mailbox today. Let's make DCL Magazine a thing. And while you're over there, if you want to use code DCL Duo, that's DCL Duo, all caps, you can get 10% off anything in the WDW store. So, well, we are coming to you from the Disney Treasure in our stateroom, recording a brief bonus episode here about all of the announcements that were made today at a special media event that took place aboard the Wish, with some new announcements about the Disney Destiny. And full disclosure, we were actually invited to come to this media event, but obviously we were in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean heading down to Tortola on the Disney Treasure, so had to skip it. But thankfully have a lot of good media contacts and friends that we have made who were at the event who helped us along today with some photos and background. And of course, the Parks blog released some more information. So we're just going to break down some of the announcements today. Not a lot of surprises. It's putting a lot more, I think, color on top of what we already know. But Sam, we should, I think, start with the atrium, right? That's one of the new things that we got. Yeah,
the Grand Hall. So we had seen some very bare bones concept art that showed us T'Challa, who is the Black Panther, in the atrium. But now we've got much more specific or much more detailed concept art for the Grand Hall. We've got a balcony over the stage. So it looks very similar to obviously what you have on the Wish and on the Treasure, but on the balcony on this in this rendering shows what looks like the Time Stone, one of the Infinity Stones, perhaps on the balcony. And then standing on the balcony in the picture is, of course, everyone's favorite villain from the Avengers, Loki.
True to theme, heroes and villains. Just for everyone out there to remember, the theme of this ship is heroes and villains, and we've got Spider-Man off the back as one hero, and we've got T'Challa in the atrium as another hero.
And the atrium is definitely Wakanda themed. So the Grand Hall is actually what they call it on the Destiny, on any of the Wish class ships, because it's larger. But the Grand Hall is very much Wakanda themed. So we're talking more like sort of African art looking. It's beautiful. The T'Challa statue has actually got him as both in human form, and there's a panther, an actual Black Panther, and I don't mean the superhero costume, but a physical animal panther, right? Yeah. Standing next to him. So I'm not sure that was visible in the previous concept art we saw, but actually Walt Disney Imagineering has a reel out that shows them actually making that statue, as well as the Spider-Man Stern character statue.
Yeah, the only thing that's giving me pause about the atrium art that we're seeing is all of this green neon piping everywhere on the atrium. It's looking a little too Las Vegas-y for me. So I hope that that's just a rendering, and, as they did with the Treasure when they delivered something, it looked much better in person than I think some of the renderings we even saw. Of course, we're looking at photos from all the announcements today, and Sam has immediately flipped to her favorite photo, which is a photo of Hero Minnie.
Yeah, and Hero Minnie has got her sort of red dress outfit. There's got some streaking on the top part and some polka dots sort of towards the skirt part. She's got kind of lightning bolt designs on her shoes and on her cape. She's got a big red bow on her head. This is fantastic costuming for Hero Mini. She just looks adorable. It's definitely a little bit different than what I was expecting from that patch that we had seen for the Disney Destiny, but I think it's a beautiful costume. Super excited for Hero Mini. She's definitely one of my favorites.
And you can check out all of these photos over at the Parks blog, or a number of them. You can also check them out from our friend Scott Gustin across all your social media, who kindly let us repost his photos and videos from today on our own channel. And of course, you can head over to Facebook, join our Facebook group, the DCL Duo Podcast and Vlog Facebook group. That's a great place to see some of this stuff too and keep up to date. But yeah, all right. Now Sam is showing the photo to me of one of my favorite announcements of the day, which is they released some of the new stateroom art, including the new fish extenders that will sit outside. And I don't think we can call them fish extenders anymore.
No, none of them are fish anymore.
None of them are
since
fish.
the Wish class started.
Yeah, but the new fish extenders include Baymax. They include Hercules, not Raya, Mulan. We've got the Incredibles, and of course we've got Sorcerer Mickey, who will grace the staterooms of all of the folks paying for concierge aboard.
Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey, technically. I know Nathan would correct us if we said Sorcerer Mickey. But we also got to see some of the concept art for the staterooms, not just those fish extenders, and really some beautiful artwork. I'm wondering if these are actually going to be like the murals above the beds, or if this is just like going to be sort of inspired by, but not clear.
I guarantee those are the murals above the beds, because they look exactly the right size and everything. So I think what we're seeing now is the murals above the beds, which again align. We didn't see a Baymax mural, even though, or a Big Hero 6 mural, even though there's a Baymax fish extender, but we did see one for Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey, one for Hercules, one for Mulan, one for the Incredibles. So yeah, and I guess that's all of them. So interesting, we didn't get to see the Big Hero 6 artwork, so I'm curious to see what that will look like when it comes out. We also got some renderings now, some new renderings or fresh renderings. I don't know if we got any renderings of this before.
I think this is the first one.
Yeah, the Sanctum bar, which is, of course, going to be the Doctor Strange theme bar that replaces the Skipper Society from the Treasure and the Bayou from the Wish. Looks really cool. Lots of interesting little details. There's of course, Doctor Strange's cape appears in the renderings. You've got the sort of the window that you see in the Sanctums. It looks really cool and nice. I think fits the theme of the ship really, really well. Certainly, in my opinion, it fits it better than the Haunted Mansion bar, which I think the Sanctum bar should have replaced that bar space. But I will say that the renderings of the Sanctum bar look really cool. Yeah. Sam, we also got some information on food and beverage in the Sanctum.
Yeah, so they said it's going to have a magical array of mocktails, cocktails, spirits, and coffees. And they're going to have a bunch of tableside beverage options. One of them is called the Circle of the Cosmos, and it actually looks like it's an upside down martini glass, but it's actually more like a beaker, like a science beaker. So it's Brunswick Aces Diamonds Gin, Verjuice Blanc, and fresh lemon juice garnished with a lemon peel spiral. And then there's another drink called Vapors of Valtor, which is Grey Goose, Altius Vodka, ginger beer, fresh lime juice, and butterfly pea flower syrup topped with berry flavored bubbles. We love the bubble look. They look very cool.
What are the filled waffles? Looks like we have some filled waffles.
2 different kinds of filled waffles. One has custard cream filling and one has a mixed berry compote filling. So those look like, nice additions to kind of like we have some different, we have like a Belgian waffle thing going on here in Skipper Society. And then in the Bayou on the Wish, you have the beignets. So it's kind of nice
the Zeppelinis and and the others.
Zeppeli's on the the Soul Cat Lounge.
Yeah.
On the Wonder or on the Magic. And then on the Wonder you have the beignets because you have French Quarter Lounge. Yeah. So it's a nice addition to that array of things. We also got some announcements about Edna's a la mode Suites, which is the Incredibles themed sweet shop on board. So that's going to replace Jumbo Suites. And what's the one on the Wish? Why am I forgetting what it is?
It's not Vanellope's. That's the Dream
No,
of Fantasy.
that's Vanellope and Sweet On You are on the Dream of Fantasy. I don't know why I'm blanking right now.
Yeah.
The sweet shop. And so it has a cool futuristic design. They show lots of cupcakes and those sort of, cookies and, just the really pretty looking treats. So shortbread cookies, chocolate bark postcards, cookies and cream cookies, and some cupcakes are what we see on the Disney Parks blog. The other main thing that was announced was, it was sort of a first look at the Hercules stage show aboard the Disney Destiny. And we also heard from Scott Gustin that there's going to be a new song that was it's called Shooting Star. It was originally written for the movie by Alan Menken and David Zippel, but it didn't make the final cut in the movie. And so apparently parts of it are sort of background music in the movie, but the actual song did not make it, and it's going to be in the new Hercules stage show. They did have an amazing, they did go the distance at the media event. So they had a singer who I don't know if he's going to be.
He's playing Hercules.
I thought so. I thought he was going to be Hercules.
Who's playing Hercules in the stage show for
I watched that video that Scott Gustin took, and it was just incredible. He was just, fantastic.
And just so that we're not run out of town, it's Inside Out Joyful Sweets on the Disney Wish.
I don't know why I couldn't remember the Inside Out one.
I will say the artist rendering for Hercules that piqued my attention was, and I don't know the name of it's like a Hydra head or whatever on the stage.
It is. It's a Hydra.
The Hydra. And it looks like they're going Taka style with this Hydra because they have it coming
multi-head puppet
over the audience with dog heads that look like, or Hydra heads that look like they're each 6 feet tall, which I'm sure that will scale back some. But it looks pretty impressive. And considering what they did with the Taka puppet for Moana, the Moana stage show, it's I'm ready to be impressed. So
yes, absolutely. And then I would say the next thing that was revealed mostly on the Disney Parks blog, and we saw some pictures of this at the showcase as well that they did, the media showcase today, was really the merchandise. They actually put out previews of 4 different collections. So the first is the Disney Destiny inaugural collection. So we're talking an inaugural Spirit jersey, an inaugural jacket, an inaugural Loungefly backpack, I'll call it a cold coffee cup with a straw. And of course, you have to have the Pandora charm. So that's in the inaugural collection. That's what they're showing. They're showing in a Disney Destiny logo collection, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a black and gray and gold theme, and it's very understated. They're showing ears and a t-shirt, a hat, a water bottle, and kind of a button-up shirt. And then they've got the Super Character Collection, which of course has the Mickey and Minnie Hero plushies. You've got Mickey and Minnie Hero sweatshirts, a Loungefly that was a Hero, at least mini one, what looks like a different kind of clear water bottle, some I don't know if those are magnets or I think they're magnets or pins. Actually, they might be pins. And then, of course, a pair of ears. Oh, and then there's one more collection, the Disney Destiny Ship Collection. So that's the standard Spirit jersey with the white and blue, but the Destiny one has Spider-Man, really, the Stern character on the back. And then, of course, they've got the Destiny Loungefly, and they've got a new Destiny Disney Magic Band or Disney Band Plus.
So, Sam, I want to rewind for a second because you skipped over some of the announcements about Edna Mode's, just some of the food that they put out today.
Oh, I did. I mentioned the cupcakes and the cookies.
But did you give people these sound like some
No, I didn't give the descriptions.
So I'm going to give some descriptions here. So they've got Violet's Cupcake, which is a purple velvet sponge cake with white chocolate mousse, which of course Sam will say is a crime against chocolate.
Yeah, it's a crime against chocolate.
Purple mirror glaze, sprinkles, and chocolate decor. They've got a Mr. Incredibles cupcake with double chocolate fudge cake with chocolate truffle mousse, dark chocolate velvet finish, gold confetti, and chocolate decor. Will be right up my alley. I've got an Edna a la mode cupcake, which is vanilla marble sponge cake with white chocolate mousse, red mirror glaze, sprinkles, chocolate decor, and they've got Elastigirl's cupcake, orange almond cake with raspberry mousse, orange chocolate velvet finish, sprinkles, and chocolate decor. I'd love to know how they arrived at these for each of the characters beyond sort of maybe coloring here. But and then Edna a la mode's got some shortbread cookies, as Sam mentioned, and a chocolate bark postcard and a cookies and cream cookie. So that's an interesting dessert there. I think we've seen something like that from Crumble Cookie where we're from.
Yeah. The other thing we didn't mention is on the Disney Parks blog, they did talk about one of the stories that's going to be told on the Disney Destiny, which is going to be there's going to be a Loki like takeover of the ship. So it's kind of like how they do like a storytelling that they did in Star Wars Day at Sea, or they've done at Marvel Day at Sea. So there's going to be a transformation of the Grand Hall when Loki sort of takes over and declare himself ruler of the vessel and its occupants. So there's going to probably be some kind of show that's going to happen, and there's going to be interactive ways to interact with some of your favorite villains as well. They're talking a little bit more about the Cruella de Vil bar, which we already have been, informed about previously, but just a little bit more information about.
Does that mean Cruella de Vil meet and greet at the bar?
I think so. I think I don't know if it's going to be a meet and greet, but I think we're going to see Cruella de Vil on board. I think we're going to see Dr. Facilier on board, because they mentioned him, that he may be lurking around the Grand Hall with a dazzling parlor trick or sleight of hand, or you can join him for a game of chance with nothing to lose. So some really fun announcements about what kind of interactions you can have with characters on the Disney Destiny. This is definitely, they said it's heroes and villains themed, and it is turning out definitely to be heroes and villains themed.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if we get any more information about like what we're missing. Like, so this is what they did with the treasure, dribbling out. So like, what are we missing? We haven't heard much about the food that's coming to the Lion King inspired dining experience that they're going to have on board. We don't know much about the beverage and food for Cruella's at all. Haunted Mansion will have the same kind of thing going on that it does on the treasure. So we should know reasonably about that. And then of course, 1923 and Worlds of Marvel will repeat. So still waiting on food from the Lion King themed restaurant that they'll have. So that'll be interesting to get some more information about. Of course, the ship should also be getting dangerously close to float out here.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see float out. I think we had heard at one point maybe around the 16th, which would make some sense that they're doing some announcements now. They love to do this kind of like successive days of, dribbling out information, keep the drumbeat growing around the ship. So maybe in a couple of days we'll see a float out. It should be soon. But yeah, overall, I mean, exciting announcements. It's as always, I think the devil's in the details for these kinds of things. And we're seeing a lot of artist rendering and not a lot of actual, photos of the spaces yet. Not surprising. I'm sure they still have work to do on board the Destiny to get her ready. But yeah, I think overall pretty exciting. And what's most exciting to you, Sam? Is that the merch?
Well, the merch looks great. The most exciting thing for me is obviously the Hercules stage show, and hearing the gentleman, the actor who's playing Hercules, hearing him sing. I could not be more excited for that show, honestly. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite movies, but it's one of my favorite soundtracks. Like, that soundtrack from Hercules is so incredible. All of the songs are fantastic. And so hearing Go the Distance sung that good or that well, gets me sort of really, really fired up. The other thing is, of course, Hero Minnie. I've been waiting to see what her outfit's going to look like, and I'm just going to say it. It's fire. I love it.
Except it has a cape.
Yes, but it's...
And the mode, no capes.
I know, but I actually feel like she's the one... She should have a cape. Other heroes shouldn't. Like, the Pixar character shouldn't.
Do we think we'll see Minnie do across the zip line down to the stage with her cape flipping in the wind for some sort? We did see some... Yes,
that would be amazing.
We did see some video from the media event that suggested kind of like a stage show.
Or some kind of... We couldn't
tell if that was like specific just for the media event or if they were kind of previewing maybe a little bit of the sail away party.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting. We also, we didn't talk about, they showcased, they gave the media who were at the event a pair of Disney Destiny ears, which I don't know if Sam actually saw.
I didn't see. I saw the pictures. I bet they're one of the pairs of ears that they're going to be selling the merch for, but I didn't see. I didn't see that.
And some pens. They put out some new pens
those
as
pins
well.
Are cute.
All right, hey everybody. After we recorded the last segment, we realized that our friends who were at the media preview actually sat down to lunch and went quiet for a bit and came out of lunch with some tasty information about the Lion King restaurant. So we're not waiting on information about that any longer. They got to preview some of the dishes that will be in the Lion King restaurant, and we wanted to talk about that. They also got, by the way, a little bit of a preview of some songs and some things out of the Cruella de Vil bar. Our friends over at WDW Magazine have an article up on their blog with everything that they learned that's going on. They mentioned that there's the Cruella de Vil runway show coming to the ship, which is Cruella de Vil will be on hand for a fashion show where guests can show off their personal style on Cruella's runway, and Cruella will provide live commentary and may recruit guests for a musical tribute with the song of her name. So there you go. That's going to be interesting. A little interesting they're doing Cruella de Vil's fashion show and not
Edna Mode's
fashion show. But,
yeah. But I mean, Cruella de
interesting.
Vil does have her own bar. So
Yeah, fair enough. I'm actually pretty excited about that bar. I don't know how Sam feels about it, but I'm pretty excited about it. So.
You know, I'm excited about it because I really think they did such a nice job with Scat Cat Lounge here on the Disney Treasure. So I feel like, and I like dogs better than cats. So, you know, it's going to have obviously some Dalmatian themed stuff in there too, not just Cruella. So yeah, I guess I would say I would be even more excited for that than I was for Scat Cat. And I'm particularly excited because they did such a good job with Scat Cat.
Yeah. For the Lion King restaurant, we got a preview of some dishes. As you may recall, that is called the Inside the Pride Lands Feast of the Lion King. And you're going to be transported to the African savannah. They are leaning pretty heavily into those flavors, kind of like Boma or Sanaa at Animal Kingdom for some of the dishes that we're seeing. So we want to walk through a few of the dishes that...
it's not called Inside Pride Lands. It's called Pride Lands Feast of the Lion King.
Fair. Thank you. Pride Lands Feast of the Lion King. Yes, I'm looking at the WDW article now, and I've read one too many words there. And shout out to them again. If you not gotten the DCL magazine, please head over and do that. But the dining, some of the dishes you'll get at the dining there in Pride Lands, we've got Nala's roasted pork tenderloin with black-eyed bean chorizo casserole, fried yuca, thyme, and pickled purple onions. Then we've got a pan-seared Berber spice roasted chicken, which Berber is a very popular spice in Africa, with jollof rice, fried plantains, blistered tomatoes, and green harissa sauce.
And I feel like they had a dish. I don't remember if it was in Marvel or I feel like there's a dish that is a Berber spice chicken already on the cruise line. It might be like a tweaking or sort of a reimagining of that dish. If I'm remembering correctly, I feel like I've had a Berber spice chicken, but I don't remember on which ship or when it was, or maybe it was on the old pirate menu or something. But
yeah,
I'm actually looking forward to the Cape Malay shrimp curry, which is a garam masala curry with a cumin and coconut curry sauce and turmeric, of course, with rice and cucumber sambal and butter roti. So that sounds to me delicious. That sounds more Indian.
Yeah, that sounds very Indian, not African to me.
There is a lot of crossover in the spices between Indian food and African food. So hopefully that will make this food, more accessible to a broader audience.
And then they've got it looks like a vegetarian dish or maybe an appetizer. I can't tell which. This is an heirloom tomato kachumbari, which includes golden beet, caviar, nut and seed, dukkha spice, goat cheese, and pea tendrils. So
that sounds pretty yummy.
Actually, does sound pretty yummy. And then we got a couple of desserts here that the folks in the media preview got to try.
This first one sounds amazing. The pineapple upside down cake. It's a yogurt cake with caramelized pineapple, cherries, and rooibos mousse. Rooibos is a tea leaf.
Moist yogurt cake, though, makes me wonder if it's going to be more like a flan, which you will not like.
I hope it's not. I hope it's like a cake.
Yeah, and then they've got a warm chocolate malva pudding with sweet vanilla pudding, apricot jam, warm buttery cream sauce, and vanilla ice cream. Sounds pretty good. And they previewed, I guess, a couple drinks that both have some funny names. The first one's called "Can You Feel the Rum Tonight?" With Star 7-year oak aged rum, Amarula cream liqueur, which we actually really like Amarula.
Yeah.
That is a product of South Africa. Mango smoothie mix, a pinch of cinnamon shaken with ice and garnished with a fresh mint leaf. I might actually have to give that one a try because I really love Amarula. And
the other one sounds like it's a kid's drink. This is called Slimy Yet Satisfying. It's Sprite infused with lime gelatin and garnished with centipede and worm gummies. That is a perfect kids drink. They'll probably have a light up toy sticking out of it.
So yeah, overall exciting day. It's always an exciting day to get a bit more information about the Destiny. I agree. The stuff coming out around the Hercules stage show is really impressive. So really looking forward to that. But hey, reach out to us. Let us know what you're most excited about the Disney Destiny. Are you booked? Are you looking to book? If you are, you might want to reach out to our friends over at My Path Unwinding Travel. They are our fabulous show sponsor. So head over to mypathunwinding.com/DCL Duo or send them an email at dclduo@mypathunwinding.com. Let them know we sent you. And if you're going to book the Disney Destiny, there's some great folks to help you out over there. But reach out. We'd love to know what's exciting you about the Destiny. If you're booked to go, will you be joining us on the maiden voyage or perhaps the voyage right after that one? Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. But with that, I'm going to wrap it up here and say thanks everybody out there for listening. We will return you to your regularly scheduled programming later this week with a regular episode, and we are going to return to our regularly scheduled vacation. So See you later.
See you real soon.
Well, thanks to everyone out there for listening this week. We really, really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you can keep getting great content from us every week. In fact, twice a week we publish shows. So be sure to hit the subscribe button to get all of those great episodes. And if you want to watch us live, we have a live show now every week, Monday nights, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern over on youtube.com/DCL Duo. So be sure to head over and check that out. If you want to help support the show, be sure to hit those 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And if you leave us a written review, a 5-star written review, we will read it at the top of one of our main episodes. So please head over there and hit those 5 stars. Of course, you can also help support the show by supporting our fabulous show sponsor, My Path Unwinding Travel. If you want to book your next Disney vacation, head over to mypathunwinding.com/DCL Duo or email them at dclduo@mypathunwinding.com so they know we sent you their way. If you've got questions or you'd like to connect with us, the best way to do that is to head over to dclduo.com. It's got links to all of our things, full catalog of the podcast episodes, including a searchable catalog for the podcast, links off to our vlog, a link to our Etsy store where we sell some fun fan-inspired magnets, link to our Patreon if you'd like to help directly support the show each and every month. Just head over to the website or patreon.com/DCL Duo. Also has a way for you to sign up for our Substack newsletter that we're hoping to start really pumping out monthly here at least, and a few blog articles that we've written. So dclduo.com is the best way to connect with us. You can also, of course, email us at info@dclduo.com or reach out to us on our voicemail line at 402-413-5590. That's 402-413-5590. The DCL Duo podcast is not affiliated with Disney Cruise Line, the Disney Company, or the Disney family of theme parks. The views expressed on the show are solely those of the individuals on the podcast and in no way reflect the views of the Disney Company or Disney Cruise Line. If you have questions about a Disney cruise or a Disney vacation, please contact the great folks over at My Path Unwinding Travel or Disney directly or your own travel agent. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time for another fabulous adventure with the DCL Duo. Good night.